Welcome, 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 everybody. We are Heroes Unleashed. I am your GM for this evening. Today we have Theory the Philosopher, Morgan Cornwallis, Crimson Sage, D, the Battle Mage, and Seraph, the ever-evolving artificial life form. So you guys can unmute yourselves now as we pick up from where we left off, and hopefully this isn't too loud for everybody, and hopefully you guys can hear me, because I think everything is all set. Sometimes I don't know. My levels. All right. As we can recall from the last adventure, from the last story, from the last chapter of the last story, the group collectively woke from their trance, from their miasma, in a room that, as your memories start to detach from that dream world and reacclimate to where you are now, to the reality that is now. The room itself smells heavily of incenses and spices. Just it's acrid smoke that's in the room. At its center, there was a shattered crystal and an equally shattered vizier, the old gypsy who was performing the ritual to allow you to give you that foresight. Now, obviously, what's his name? I can't even remember. Vona is distraught, so he's not here with us today. So we will move him away from this part of the story because he can't be. I'm not going to play him, and he's not present. But he is despondent. He is. This woman was to be his mentor in the mystic arts, but now she has passed. So that leaves the rest of you, and even to a certain degree, Seraph, you did not. Entering into this world was not something that you were able to calculate, that you thought was even possible. But somehow you were brought into this version of a reality where you could affect it, and you started. Your memory is a lot clearer than the rest. So you saw some of the scenes from the background, the back doors, the changing environment, the changing virtual environment, and how it affected everyone's memories, including to a certain degree yours, where some virtual blocks were being erected so that you couldn't access your full memory, and by virtue of accessing your full memory, to affect the world around you even more so than you had.
You are Neo.
Now, with the woman gone, that leaves you all to face the reality of where you are and what could potentially come. Because one of the things that, as you're remembering and reorienting yourself, is that the woman she had told you that this is one possibility. It's a possibility of many possibilities, but in this version of life, in this version of reality, it is the closest to what could potentially be your future. So that's where you are right now.
Look up in the sky to see if I see a big bald-headed dude with a cape and a giant collar. I'm kidding.
Ouch. As we can see, Morgan has donned his overweight Jason Statham. Instead of the rock, he is the mud.
Hey, yo, Lou, I'm gonna check and see if that body is still warm.
Wait,
I am the pug.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's a D&D reference to him robbing every corpse that came He robbed corpses as they were falling to the ground.
We're naked by the time it hit the ground.
Okay, so this is where you guys are.
Get a pen and pad and write everything that we can remember. I can remember from what happened in the early incident. So in case we come across anything like this in the future, we will know what to do next. And kill the old lady before it starts.
You mean the dead old lady that's
I'm gonna
She's
check.
not
in the
dead.
center of
She's
the
not
room?
I'm gonna check her pockets.
Yeah, no.
So where are we at exactly?
Did we wake up in the park? Because last time before the dreamscape, we were all in the park together, were we?
When you in an effort to move that along from that spot, because you guys were meandering, sort of, she had arrived and bade you all to go with her so that she can help. And Vona vouched for her as someone of import that he looked up to, that could possibly help you guys move this, get closer to the goal of stopping whatever's coming. Because according to the clock, you now have 8 hours before whatever event is takes place.
Okay.
Well, I get up, I go over towards Theory, put my hand on his shoulder and tell him,
You have any goodie?
are you ready to take me to your apartment so we can track your sister?
Yes. Yes, I am.
What we were going to do before this whole fiasco was that.
Yeah, I remember.
And how we got convinced not to follow the tracks for his sister, I'm besides myself. But
Because somehow
Well,
it was
There was a
we got-
scan,
we got coordinates that said to come here.
right?
no, I mean to go into the skyscape part of it.
Well, because the whole building was that at that point.
Right.
So, yeah, we've
Theory's-
moved around all
Theory's,
over the place.
Doomed
So, Lou,
museum. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The first thing I do is reach out to get a fix on our position. I'm still trying to process the whole idea of
Hmm.
being in a world that was not the world as I know it. That's a whole other scenario.
Right.
But in the meantime, where are we? And my dad isn't present. Where is he?
You're about 20 miles from the city center, and he is nowhere to be found. He is not registering anywhere. You can't even raise him on your telemechanics. The last that that you can recall him telling you is that he's working on a project, and that it's best to maintain some level of radio silence for the foreseeable future until it's closer to being ready.
All right, that works then. So with that in mind, the last thing we were planning to do was find this man's sister. This is a dead end. Like literally a dead end. The next location would be his apartment. If not there, Lou, where the message that was sent to him with the coordinates, am I able to backtrack that message?
No. It's the IP address is a non-starter.
Right.
It leads you
It's
to
the
it
AI.
leads you to a dead end. Yeah. So that's one assumption that you can make, but
All right. So here's what I do. I locate Theory's address, and I just literally fly up in swarm form and head to his apartment.
Okay. So you're not technically in the park, but you're in this woman's house. You're able to get out. There's many. This is an old house, many cracks, many crevices. You're all in her basement. This is where you see all these curios, not stuff that you would specifically recognize, except in that, and speaking more in a general sense for the group. Those of you who are more magically inclined, you do recognize that this place has significant psychic power. And that would only be D at this point, but Theory and Sage have a background in it. Morgan, you also do, right? You're muted, by the way.
Yes, I do, sir.
Okay. So you do recognize that she's a collector of odds and ends and curios. Now, immediately,
Baba Yaga!
Seraph lifts off the ground. His mini hover jets lift him off the ground, and he just explodes into like a swarm of what looks like gnats and flies, and he just disappears into every crevice in the ceiling and out.
This is Seraph, you said?
Seraph, yes.
What was Steve's character's real name again?
Dr. Acosta, Reyes Acosta.
Okay,
As far as anybody knows, it's Dr. Acosta's armor.
right, that's I'm like,
Yeah. As far as anybody knows, he's Tony Stark in this.
yeah, I'm like, whoa, that's really interesting. Dr. Costa has some really amazing abilities with that suit.
And no one responds because, you know. So Vaughn,
I'm still the new. Me and D are still the new guys.
Yeah, Vaughn is going to stay because he has to perform the funeral rites for this woman.
Right.
She's a venerated elder, so they have to do there's a specific ritual. So he's staying behind. You're all 20 miles from the city center. You do have a vehicle. You had what's his name? Id's vehicle. Id and his partner, they also left because he's not here. I'm not going to play him. So they had some other leads to check out. So they had an SUV that they were able to commandeer and left you with the sedan. Because no one has travel powers,
Nope.
which I find hilarious.
Nope.
I have a travel power. It's called Metro Card.
Oh my god.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
So we take the van and we drive.
Yeah.
To my sister's house.
So head in.
All right. First one to get there would be Seraph. Seraph, as you're approaching the building, your sensors read a spike in a spike in the power. That's coursing through the building. You can see it's the spike ends where his apartment is. As you're approaching it.
All right.
What time is it at this point? Is all the now we still are the police still out there? They're still
At your museum, yes. It's
no,
been...
I'm saying when we get to my sister's my
no,
apartment.
no.
Okay, they're all gone. All
Yeah.
right.
There's just some wooden boards where the glass was blown out and tape and everything. So
Gotcha.
Seraph, you're picture yourself coming in up and down, at a downward angle towards the building. You can see you can read the electrical. I'll give that to you. That you can see the increase in power outage and power output that this building is drawing in comparison to those that are nearby.
Okay.
Almost as if it's drawing power like if it were the daytime and everyone was awake.
Except it's going to one particular apartment.
Except the vast majority is going to one particular apartment.
Okay. So I stop, land on the roof,
Mm-hmm.
Um, I report this position and situation. That tells me to be patient and not rush into things headlong. I'm trying.
Mm-hmm.
I send this information. Who has communications with among the rest of them?
Sage, for the most part, it's just Sage at this point. And everyone has their cell phones.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Just whatever communication.
Oh
they
yeah,
have available.
everyone should have their cell phones. Sage is
Well-
the only one with comms.
Right. So I send a message to Theory. To what's his name again? What's your actual name?
My real name Gavi Patel.
Oh my God.
Patel. Right. I sent a message to Mr. Patel that I am on the roof of his building, and there is something strange going on with the power input, and it's going to his apartment for the most part.
There's a weird power input in my apartment, so like lights and stuff is going off and on or something like that.
No, I am reading a spike in power going into this building.
Okay.
So if you're going via text message, that's what you get. I said, picked up a weird power input,
All right.
and I let Agent Sage know that what my location is, and basically give him a sit rep.
Okay.
Can you compare the power increase to utility or to a generator, or like how much of a power increase are we talking about? I'm talking to him directly.
So I look at Mr. Patel's utility bills, previous months,
Mm-hmm.
and compare what's happening right now.
It's at least 10 times as much.
He is pulling 10 times the power to his apartment.
In your knowledge, what would that type of power be needed for?
You now start reading an electromagnetic pulse being pushed outwards from that area. So his apartment is approximately 10 floors down. So you feel that because you're innately
Right,
attuned to
right.
that.
Wait, how many floors is my? I forgot that. How many floors is my building?
I don't remember us talking about that, but you're 10 floors from the top. It's a 30-floor building, so floor
Okay.
20.
So I'm like on the 20th. So.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So I immediately send that information. It is an EMP generator.
Hmm.
There's an EMP generator in his apartment.
So
Someone is
I turned-
expecting my presence.
I turned towards Therium Lake.
D is with us in the car,
Maybe.
correct?
Yes, you're all in the car.
All right.
Why
D,
would they be using an EMP pulse?
I have no idea. D, there was nothing you left behind when we left the apartment, correct?
And I immediately respond. The EMP is a deterrent against me.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
he's
I don't know why anybody would be
the
expecting
text
you-
messages are eerily in line with your conversation, and you know he's not there. So
You know what I mean?
no, I'm talking to everybody.
Oh.
Y'all are talking to each other, and I respond.
And he's responding via text.
That's wow. Okay. Dr. Acosta is this is
He's Tony Stark in
he's
this
on
bitch.
point. I mean, I gotta give him that. You know.
Usually he likes to scout ahead, being that his armor can do neat tricks.
Clearly.
Right now, my concern is why is this device or whatever power output is being used for in your apartment, particularly Theory,
Right.
and it being an MP pulse, which from my understanding affects his armor very adversely. So
Right. But wouldn't it affect the entire building too? Like, wouldn't all the lights go off? Wouldn't it like just make the whole building shut down?
So is the whole building being shut down?
No,
Okay,
it's
so
localized.
in the meantime, while I'm standing there, I am trying to locate the junction that would feed to this building
Okay.
electrically.
Question, Dr. Acosta. We've had multiple encounters with this AI, including the last vision. Could something from your technical world, per se, affect the real world somehow?
Everything can be theorized.
All right. Ask that question again, because I was reading something as you said that to me.
You reading what I sent you?
Yeah, I just read
Okay.
it.
All right. I just want to make sure.
Again, Dr. Acosta, we've been encountering this, what you call AI, several times. I believe we did so also in the last Vision Quest or whatever it was.
That was not the AI.
Could that signal or that pulse be generated into the real world from your technical knowledge?
That was not an AI. That was the old lady. She was the center of what we were doing in that last scenario.
Yeah,
This
being that the
particular-
lady is dead, and it was, from what I remember Morgan saying, that was the AI. I'm just asking you, as being the technical expert, could it be a possibility that that thing still exists, one, and two, can it be affecting the real world? Because
I will say this.
It seems a coincidence that all of a sudden there's an EMP shield.
An EMP shield, and I am picking up the radiation that I picked up before from the museum. Whatever is happening in that room will go critical mass.
Lou, I sent you something.
I haul ass. Because right now, what I'm thinking is that whatever is going on
Send it
is
in the.
to try and erase any trace of
Send
his
it in roll
sister
20.
or any lead.
No, I sent it.
Yeah, I can't keep switching to this.
Oh,
different
okay. So
screens.
yeah, I'll send it to you later.
Yeah, send it in roll 20. Just whisper it to me. Okay. So, I'm sorry, and I apologize if I interrupted the flow. You guys continue.
No, I'm letting you know that I'm hauling ass because the way it looks right now, it may be an attempt to erase all trace of his sister or any leads. So I'm putting pedal to the metal and just going.
Okay. All right.
Too bad we. You, genius. Can you makeshift a siren
Why would I want to do that?
so we can act like the police, so that way we can have people move out of our way, so we can get there quicker?
Okay,
Uh,
off the hood.
that's
Technically, there's a siren already on the vehicle.
Oh yeah,
Is there?
the cop car.
Okay, so turn it on.
yes, that's right. It's the cop car.
I was waiting
Hey.
for you guys. I said they left you the sedan.
Yeah, they left as a car.
Anyway,
so,
so you
But I
I
forgot
think
that the sedan was a
yeah.
cop.
All you need is, I think if I'm correct, because they have all the stuff is computerized there. You just have to know standard computer
Yeah.
operation to set it up, right? All right.
So
cool.
it turns on.
turns on the thing.
No, it turns on.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm still being tripped out. Like I'm still not used to this. Is crazy.
So
That-
sirens are on, and I'm at whatever this engine can push.
okay? All right. So that leaves before they get there, which should it's 20 miles away. So realistically, at top speed, you should get there within 5 or 6 minutes, at most. There's not a lot of traffic. The sky is starting to lighten up as the sun is beginning at the beginnings of dawn. So looking at the skies as you're finally noticing it, it's approximately 5 a.m. I'm gonna write that down. 'cause
I'm
I
going to
don't
share my thoughts, but I typed in the roll 20.
know. Yeah, go ahead.
I did. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I let you guys know. My theory is this: I think they're going to be ambushed, and I
Like
wrote
no
my-
one's theory. When I'm dancing, I'm groove theory. Sorry. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, I yikes.
Comedian, you are not.
Would you say you think we're gonna get ambushed?
yes.
Yes,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I agree.
These things.
I don't think it's by any creatures of another world, but it definitely does feel like an ambush. Which is the reason why I'm hauling ass. I don't want them to destroy any evidence of your sister or any trace of your sister or any possible leads, which they've been one step ahead of us all this time. Is there anything you can do, Dr. Acosta, to reconnaissance the area to figure out what the hell's going on? Get eyes in there for us?
I can try, but I cannot approach the area at the moment.
Fine. Do not compromise yourself, obviously. Patch myself through to Agent Rivers.
Okay. After a couple of rings, Agent Rivers.
Agent Rivers, this is Agent Sage.
Agent
On-
Sage, where the hell have you been?
Hard to explain. I will give you a complete update as soon as I can. Right now, I'm en route to his house in order to try and locate his sister or any trace that can give us a clue as to what's going to happen in the next 8 hours. Time an hour, and they seem to be a step ahead of us. Whomever these people are, they just seem to be prepared all around. The short version, we just came out of experience where we saw a different possibility of things to come. Like I said, I'll give you a complete rep on when it's possible to. But at the moment, we may need backup as what little we may have at this location. I give them the location of Theory's house, Theory's apartment.
We'll send some units and attack team.
Also, be advised, there may be hostiles, and there is an EMP shield.
Excuse me?
There may be hostiles, and there is currently an EMP shield building up. Oh, that's right. Agent,
EMP signal, that shield. We don't know what it is yet.
could you patch us through to Brian?
Yeah, hold on. I'll conference him in after a few seconds. Yeah, Sage, what's going on?
Brian, I need eyes on this location ASAP. I need you to make a calculation as best as you can with regards to these energy spikes and the EMP field that's developing.
He's like, whoa, slow down. What the fuck?
I don't have time to slow down, Brian.
What
Keep
the hell
up,
are you
please.
talking about?
Listen, send them the location. At this location, there is an energy spike. It is causing an EMP field. It is preventing Dr. Acosta from reconnaissing the area. I need you to remotely try and get eyes in there to see what's going on if you can. Also, I need you to run whatever simulations you need to do in order to identify the level of energy that's building up to see what it could possibly be and correlate that with Morgan to see if we can theorize something quickly while we get there so we don't go in completely blind like we always do. Now, what I fear the most is that they may be erasing any traces left and they may be compromising Theory's sister.
Oh, yeah, I'll do what I'll
You-
fucking do
do
what I
what you
can.
can.
What the? What this,
Take a breath
this
and do what you
fucking-
can. I know you can do this. You're more
you
than capable.
can
And I
hear
know it's a lot to absorb.
you can
but
hear him
believe-
pull the phone away. He's like, this fucking guy's nuts. And he hangs up, and it's just like, he'll get right on that. We may have to retask to satellite, but we'll do what we can.
Okay. And I go back to what would be Dr. Acosta. ETA 4 minutes.
Okay, so back to Seraph. Now,
See, I changed my tactic instead.
oh, you did? I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just taking the whole thing apart, like as if I was consuming it for building nanobots.
Okay. When as you're going past it, now, like you come off the roof to fly down. As you do that, now you can see it's a purplish white light that's swirling, sort of like the effect like the Stargate. Like you have that water-like effect as it's the light spilling out from his windows. You fly down, and you easily find that box, not the box, the line, the main line. There are two main lines that go into the building. One is a redundancy as a backup. It's attached to the emergency generator, and then you have the main line. How are you going to disassemble it? Just give me a rough a visual so I can see what you're doing.
I'm going to consume it the way I would raw material.
Okay. Once you do that, there's a pop as the line is the connection is severed. All the lights go out. The emergency generator starts to kick in. The emergency lights they all kick on because they're all battery powered. The energy is still present, and it is only slowed down. So it was growing, not exponentially, but at a steady rate. Now, say if we had a graph or a bar of where the energy was, you would say out of 100%, it was at 40%, and it was rising in increments of 5%. Doing this, you slowed it down to increments of 1.5%. So it's still rising, but not at the pace where the power was feeding it.
All right.
So
I'm
you
going
can
to
theorize
fly up.
that power is now self-sustaining, or it's being fed through another source.
Right. So I'm watching to see that this was the main line feeding it originally.
Mm-hmm.
Is the backup line feeding into the apartment in any way?
No, it's only connected to the emergency systems, to the elevator, just
Staircase lights, hallway lights.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Fire suppression,
Yeah.
fire control. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
No dwellings.
All right.
All right.
So
Somebody's got COVID.
I fly up in swarm form because it's harder to detect me that way, rather than in solid form where I'm just obviously a shape, especially with the sun coming up. And I'm going to stop at the edge of what I can pick up as far as the electromagnetic energy, and move around to see if there's any other view besides the view I saw on the way down, which I'm transmitting back to Agent Sage.
Okay. So on the outside of the building, I'm assuming, not from the
Yes.
inside. Okay.
Yeah, from the outside.
All right. So the visual is the easiest thing for you to get. The actual field is localized. So it's not around the whole building. It's localized to his apartment. So it's emanating from a centralized point, but it's permeating the floor, ceiling, and walls for about 30 feet from its central point. When you get there, you can see this oval of shimmering purple white light and a figure, an outline of a figure. Adjusting your optics, you're able to see Theory's sister. She has both her arms out and her eyes are rolled out. You just see the whites of her eyes, and whatever's behind her is that light that's emanating, and it's permeating her. You can see the white is what's casting the shadow, but that purple energy is swirling around her, and you can see it's entering her body. Where she was wearing a nightgown, a pajama set, but her forearm and hands were visible. Those you can see these veins of black of like a black liquid. It's almost as if it's congealing her blood or turning it into a different color, and it's similar to the agents that have been corrupted when you guys initially started fighting those drones that Vona had described. I don't know if you remember that part, but she's, her body is not being altered. Aside from that visual, the other ones are being radically altered, but you can see her, and that energy is as it's permeating her. I'm not sure what kind of optics you have, but
I do have ultraviolet. Hold on a second. I'm just going through it real quick. Optics.
we're gonna have to come up with a better way.
Night vision, infrared, and ultraviolet.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask for everyone to give me some input on robotics, on what you would like to see as far as, so that we could expand it. I think it needs to be expanded way more than it is right now. So
I agree.
For
agree.
this, what I'll say is you can see at a cellular level, she's being altered. Her cells are being infused with this radiation, and it's fused with that electromagnetic energy.
Lou.
Yes.
He's transmitting that visual, and I'm seeing that same exact thing
Yes.
at that time.
Yes.
All right. Everybody in the car is going to hear me say "fuck," and I'm trying to throttle the car to push its limit.
You guys can see the building as you're driving. Since it's really early, there are only a couple of cars on the road, but you can see the light. The sun hasn't really poked over the horizon yet, but you can see that light coming from his window as you're driving towards the building.
So, D, I know I don't know you long, and you seem to be a partner to Theory. Is there anything?
We're new friends, just like I met you guys.
But is there anything within your capabilities that you can do to stop a transformation?
I'm not that kind of wizard.
No, not in that. It's depending. I would be.
Depending on what?
I'm like a soldier.
No, but I mean, right now, if you recall what we just went through, his sister's going through that real time. Now, I don't know whether she's fighting to stay as she is, or is this thing overtaking her?
I don't have anything that could get her out of it. I will have to, but I have to put my hands on it. I have to touch it for it.
Okay, so that's plan A. Theory, do you know, do you have any clue at all if your sister has abilities?
No, she does not have powers.
That you.
Okay.
No, everybody in my family.
Get there. I'm trying to get us there as fast as possible. Right now, your sister's in immediate danger.
You do, Seraph, you do register the vehicle as it's approaching on your sensors.
What's her bio? What are her vitals looking like? Can I get a read on her vitals?
Can't get a read on her vitals. The energy is causing too much interference.
Okay, Lou. I'm going to take one finger. Remember that some of my
I do remember.
that some of my fingers,
They were initially affected by the first blast. Yes.
right.
the
So
first
I
field.
got the nanites back that reformed those fingers, and they were different in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said it didn't spread any further. It was just that cluster.
Correct.
Right. So I'm going to take one finger from that cluster,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to stick it into the field
Okay. So
slowly.
the structural integrity remains, so they're not affected. But once you do that, the structural integrity holds, but it starts to spread upward. It's slow. It's not like it's not like your whole arm, but it starts to spread upwards. So it goes from your fingers to where using a human anatomy to where your knuckles are, in that short span of time, and it's starting to spread to the rest of your hand.
I'm observing this diagnostically. What am I seeing? What is it doing to me?
Diagnostically, it's rewriting the code in those parts, but there are multiple layers of this code that, remember, you couldn't penetrate that because they were firewalling itself. It was actively defending itself from being from any antivirus or any attempts to rid itself of that code.
Okay. So I pull back,
Mm-hmm.
and this cluster that is now
That is now your whole hand.
yes, this particular cluster,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use that for the probe, the remote probe, because I do have a remote probe,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sending that in to Theory's apartment.
Okay. Once you break that up, by the way, you guys finally pull up to the building. So I'm assuming you're all heading up.
Yeah.
Morgan,
I got my bag too with me.
Morgan, quickly. Can you recall? Well, yeah, stupid question. I need you to contemplate a way to be able to rescue his sister. Same thing that was happening?
I already have an idea. That's why I have my bag with me.
Good, because we're gonna need anyone and everyone that can do anything right now to be able to pull her out of this mess. And I shoot up as quickly as I can with Shiori.
Lou,
Yep.
with my sight, and I have ultraviolet,
Mm-hmm.
my eyes naturally. What am I seeing?
It's affecting the ultraviolet spectrum. It's eerily similar to the way that the museum was radiated. This is a lot more potent, more phosphorescent. So as it's kind of messing with your eyes because you can see that, and as you pull, it's almost as if you're staring at the sun, and then you stop. When you pull your eyes away from the sun, you still have that after image in your eyes. That's exactly what's happening.
All right.
But this is super strong.
So as we going, I'm gonna take my book bag. I'm gonna go take the elevator. What floor is he? What apartment? Don't left me in shit.
I would suggest taking the stairs.
Yeah, because the elevator's not working. It's like an episode of Big Bang Theory. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go check.
When you,
We
I'm
just
sorry.
gotta go 20
And
floors,
this
that's
is
all.
something that I needed
Yeah,
to. I
pretty
should have
much.
I should have explained. But once you all get into the lobby, you can see the doorman's there. There's a maintenance guy. He's looking at a panel, and he's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Sorry, folks, all the power's out." Mr. Patel, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you. But
Okay,
if
I'm
you're gonna
here,
go up,
friends.
you're gonna have to take the stairs. The elevator, it only had enough juice to bring it to the lobby.
That's fine. I go towards the staircase
Okay.
and I head up. So is the damage in the building from what From
It's
what-
still there. Yeah.
Yeah,
what-
yeah, it's still messed
there
up.
there
The line is
were
still stuck.
they were you know, one of the elevators is completely destroyed from your shenanigans, and the stairwell door is still off this hinge, so that one's done. There's still burn marks on the floor. There's still
Right.
scorch marks from lightning bolts,
Right,
indoor
right.
lightning bolts.
At least look. At least there's no more ice chips because of the
Right, right, and
because
they
of the
had
night shift.
just finished. You know, they had a blower to dry off the floor
Right.
from all that freaking ice that had melted.
So all right, yeah. So I start making my way upstairs. My speed is 18. How fast do I go?
What's
How long
everybody
do you
else's
get
speed?
there?
Just to give me an idea of who's gonna get there first.
31.
Okay,
Goddamn.
18.
21.
Sage.
Hold on.
But here's the question, Morgan. With all that speed, are you gonna go first?
Who, me?
That face said it all. No, Morgan.
No,
He's like, I'm
I'm-
the fastest, but I'm the smartest. So you go first.
As they do that, I'm gonna go open the elevator. I'm gonna go in my bag. I'm gonna get my spike towing winch gun.
He's gonna Batman it.
Fuck running.
Okay.
Wait, run! Run!
He's like, no, I'll be right behind you, bloody twats.
All right.
Speed
Lou,
37.
since I am not observing any of them in the shenanigans.
No.
I'm sending the drone in with pre-programmed instructions to go in,
Mhm.
travel the circumference of the room, recording whatever it sees, and to come back out to me because I'm not going to have a connection to it.
Okay. Alrighty.
And speed is 37. And
Okay.
yes, I'm hauling ass.
All right. So he's first, and then D, then Theory's like, wait up, slow down, everyone's going too fast.
I'm slipping on my gutty!
Eric's face is priceless. He's so upset that he makes fun of his
He's like,
voice.
I'm not that kind of Indian. Anyway, okay.
Yeah,
I
but-
say that as I say that as I'm drinking a slushy on the way up.
That whole section of the world right there is canceled us.
Right.
It's-
Yeah, it's done. Okay. So Seraph, the probe goes in, and as it crosses that threshold, you're receiving a lot of data in terms of the energy and how it's fluctuating, and it's definitely emanating from whatever that light is. The
All right.
woman is floating in midair. She's approximately 2 feet off the ground, and you can see tendrils of electricity coming that are from the tips of her feet to the ground, just burning a hole into that carpet. As all of this, I can't describe it the way I want to for you because you wouldn't know what it is. But
Right.
this it's essentially electricity that's flowing into her body. Enough that should have killed at least 50 people. So it's just entering into her body. She doesn't even look like she's in any real pain except for her eyes are wide open, her irises are gone, and
This is what we
her
all
mouth
see when
is
we get
open.
there?
No, this is what he's seeing.
Okay.
The when you circle around to get a better vantage point with your nano probes, you can see that energy it's coming from that it's an oval, so it's definitely a portal. Whatever is pushing into her, you can see these purple lines of energy are entering her from the back. Everything that's coming out from her extremities, it seems to be like a discharge.
Okay. I feed all this data to the doctor at the GSTF location.
Okay.
And also, do I pick up Morgan's laptop
Yeah, actually,
in the
you do.
vicinity.
He's
I
fast
feed-
moving. his
I
signal's pinging. He's like 24, 25, 26.
I feed the data to his laptop.
Okay, well,
And-
he won't be able to see it at this point. Unless he's like,
No.
"Zzz,
No. Well, I also,
Um,
but also, is this phone still active?
It is.
I also ping his phone.
Okay.
Morgan, you should check your laptop. I have sent you data.
When you get to the door and you're able to open it from the inside, you're like, ding ding, what the fuck? Who is watching me? There's no cameras in the hull. There's only 2 cameras and they should be off. Bloody twat waffles. I like using that word.
He just likes saying twat waffle.
It's a fun.
It's a wonderful
It's
word.
a fun word. It's really fun.
So I pick up like, what's going on? Who's calling me at this time?
He actually
It's
sent the text.
Dr. Acosta.
He sent
Please
the,
check your laptop.
yeah.
I go back in my book bag and pull it out.
Okay, so you're just like, how the hell? I did not turn this on. Somebody and you have a lot of safeguards on it. So this should, whatever encryption you had was easily overtaken, and a huge dump of data was put on it.
So go through it
Now,
real quick.
assuming you have computer programming, you have computer engineering, and all that other good stuff. As you're
Blah, blah.
looking through it, the energy signatures are reading their base. Their base is electricity, in that that's how he's reading it from the power, but it's almost quantum.
Okay, I have quantum theory, so yeah. So
So
Thank you.
it could possibly be quantum energy.
So I'm gonna put it away. I thank him. I'm gonna go in my bag, pull out my rubber gloves. I'm gonna pull out some copper. I'm gonna put a 9-volt.
By
I'm
the
gonna
way,
get some-
the quantum theory is still theoretical. So the fact that you're reading this is blowing your mind.
Yep, that means somebody did something they weren't supposed to. Because the only place that actually exists is in the collider.
The
Currently.
Hadron Collider, right? Yeah.
And the God particle. No, so I'm gonna go start preparing myself to discharge, gaining energy from there. But as I'm going in my bag, put my gloves on, put the copper wiring that I have in my bag. I have 9-volt battery. I'm pulling out the magnet to reverse charge it so it can pull.
You can see the light coming out from under her door, from under
Up
his
and out.
door. It's a long hallway to left and to the right. There are approximately 6 apartments on this floor. 3 to the right, 3 to the left. Center is the 2 elevator bays. To the right, when you get, is where his door is. As you're looking and registering and getting your stuff ready, you can hear a click of a door, like a door, like the deadbolt, and the door immediately. His door is, if you're facing you're from the elevator. Your elevator is to your back. There's a wall. His door is on the outer wall, all the way to the left. Then there is a door at the end of the hall, and then there's a door directly across from his door on the right. Right? The door to the right opens. You can see a little bit of light spill out, and you can hear heavy, labored breathing.
Now, this is
I'm gonna check real quick as I'm going with my stuff. I'm thinking they said EM. This guy said energy. It seems like electricity. I'm thinking area effect, EMP pulse, possibly pacemaker. I'm gonna run to the door to see if it's somebody,
Okay.
an old person.
So your instincts kick in after you make your theory. You walk towards it. You guys, Sage, you're about 2 floors below when he makes his move towards the door. When you do, and the door opens, it looks like, you remember that scene in Underworld when the wolf jumps on the train? You can see that hand, it just on the frame. it grabs the frame and just squeezes it, splintering the wood. It's completely, it's brown. It's brown and purple mottled skin, but the hand itself is about a half a foot across. Each finger, it's just completely distended. There's no nail. There's just blood coming from the fingertips as it's grabbing the frame. So that obviously you stop. I'm just gonna assume that you do not keep going.
No, I'm gonna stop real quick.
So
and
you
I'm
see,
gonna try to
'cause
theorize something.
you do recognize it's like, doof, and then the person that owns the hand pulls himself through the door. It is an old man. You can see, but half of his face it seems to be it's melting inside of his skin. So like it's just it looks like it's falling off. The left side as he pulls himself from the door frame, that seems to be mostly him. He's an elderly white man, no more than 65. But the other side, as he turns to you, his eye is completely white, but his socket is drooping, his face is drooping, his jaw looks like it's melting, like I said, underneath his skin. But his arm is completely is like 3 times the size. His hand is that big, and he's just looking at you like, help me.
So
and he drops to his knees and falls forward.
So with the concoction I'm doing, I'm gonna test it on him before I test it on Patel's sister. I'm gonna use, being that I'm theorizing that these creatures are made of energy, regardless of the fact energy can also be redirected as well as, used as AC and DC. I'm gonna see if I can use the cable, the magnet, the 9-volt to reverse the polarity, to stab the man in the hand, to disperse it with the pliers into the building itself, so I can pull the creature out of him into the environment, if he is possessed.
Okay. So you're getting that ready. Sage, you get to the floor, and you and Shiori come through. Shiori immediately, as she comes in, her haunches just raise. That stripe down the neck, down the back, and she starts growling in the direction of Morgan as he's leaned over this person, this mutated person. You see he's fumbling through his bag and putting something together. You also see the light from the door from Theory's apartment.
Did I receive the feed from your remote probe, sir?
No, he only gave it to Morgan, as far as I can tell.
Okay. So I go towards
Yeah, Sage, you were already receiving data from me, but I also sent it to Brian back at the office.
Okay, so
and I did
you were doing a
large data
continual
dump.
live feed.
Okay, so
That's fine.
that being said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the door, to Tel's door, and I'm gonna open it up, so I can give him a clear view.
Okay.
As he's coming up, I'm gonna let him know. What I need you to do is I need you to create your entire floor into something that's
Wait. Who are you talking to? Because they're behind you. You have a 30-second.
No, I know they're behind me.
Okay.
I'm waiting for them to come up while I'm also paying attention to what Morgan's doing,
Mhm.
but I'm opening the door so as soon as he gets there, he has a clear line of vision. Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I'm not going in yet because I want to wait for him to get there so I can tell him, make your entire floor into something non-conductive, that it will not conduct any type of energy, any electricity, nothing.
So to me,
Yeah, when you get there.
okay.
Meantime, just opening your door and I'm gonna observe what Morgan's doing.
Let me see what I can.
It's
Okay.
in danger. I'm
I
there
need-
to
I
Inter-
need. Well, just give me a second here. I gotta find something real quick.
I mean, it would have to be something synthetic like rubber or porcelain. It would have to be something that doesn't.
whatever it is, just make it non-conductive.
All right. I do that then?
All right, I'm going to need you to make 2 rolls. I'm going to give you a perception roll as your reaction.
Who?
Sage.
Okay.
For Sage.
Yeah. What is it? Over a 10.
And I naturally have a +5. So that's 19.
Okay. Once you reach for the door, right before you grab the knob, you pull away.
Well, I wasn't going to grab the knob. I was going to kick it in.
Well, you didn't specify that, so that's why I said. Okay. So please specify.
You're right. I didn't specify. My bad.
Okay. So because you didn't specify, here's what happens. As you reach for the door, you pull away as you see this little arc of purple lightning. Barely, it touches your glove. I'm assuming you're wearing gloves, yes? Okay, so it's like, and you felt it. It sent this tingle throughout all 5 of your fingertips to where they're like numb.
It's the crimson tingle.
Ha ha! So
Goodness, bro.
you felt that. Now for Morgan, this is as you guys are coming to the floor, and Seraph, you're still observing the room. Unless you're doing something else, Seraph, because you really can't see what they're doing, because
Right.
the cameras
Well-
inside the lobby are off.
Right, but the probe was supposed to circle the room
Mhm.
and then come back to me.
Okay, so in doing so, this is what happens with them. So for Morgan, you get your contraption ready, you stab it into his hand, and you let it. You give it a second to try to prove your theory. As you're doing that, I'll call it the thing. The thing doesn't move, but you can hear like a really strong thump.
Where? Him?
From him, from his center mass. Now you can see his hand moving, and as he's doing that, he had landed face first, so he had his regular hand and his distended hand. You stabbed it into into the larger
Yeah.
one, right, to try to pull the thing out. As he's doing that, you hear that. It's in the movie sense, you can hear the crunching and of tendons and bones as it just as that infection quickly spreads into that arm and starts expanding it. And he's just the hand that you stabbed, it moves slightly and it starts pulling itself towards its center mass to push itself up. You guys
Okay.
now get onto the floor, and you're just staring at this thing. I need you to roll a horror factor, please.
All this?
No.
Oh,
Actually, yes. Actually, all of you.
11.
Okay.
let me see if I can. Nope. All right, so
Actually, you rolled a 1,
11 total, but it's a 1.
but, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. And D.
ooh, I got a 17. Yay!
Ah! Hooray! D, are you awake? Need you to roll a horror
Muted.
factor.
You're muted.
You muted, I think. You muted D.
Hey, you're muted.
I know. I rolled a 4.
Okay.
Does it go? Did you see it?
What?
Yeah, you see it.
Yeah.
I rolled a 4.
Yeah,
Yep, we see it.
I'm not looking at it specifically, but yeah, there it goes. Okay. Okay. Once you guys get onto the floor and you, Sage, you had that thing. You're trying to shake some feeling back into your fingers. You could hear that sound. You turn, you see this thing starting to rise. As it does, its entire face is just, like this. What is it? The similar to the thing from the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, where he's like
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Similar to the things that we fought on the roof.
correct, This one, unfortunately, is like right there. So it's different from a distance than if you're standing in front of it. So you and Sage, and that's it.
Theory.
You Sage, Theory, you two are like, oh my God, but you still keep your wits. For Morgan, as you're staring at this thing, you're like, that should not be happening. Psst, 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 psst.
Now when I
And
walk,
D,
when I get in,
it's here's for you specifically, the duration is not going to be as long, but you're shocked to see this happening in real time as you come off the floor, and it's like it's starting to rise, it's starting to raise up right where so as you're there, it's the thing, then Morgan, and then Sage and Theory is Sage and his dog, and then Theory are right in front of in your line of sight, but you can still see this thing as it's pulling itself up. So,
Okay. Luke.
I will get. We'll go to Sage first for an action or whatever you're gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just one.
First thing, as soon as I felt that snap,
Mm-hmm.
my immediate reaction after that is kicking the door open.
Okay.
Okay. As these guys come up onto the floor, I'm giving Shiori the command to protect them
Okay. So.
as they come onto the floor.
Right. Okay. I got you.
Now that Theory's there, right? Because I don't know whether he's got his senses about him or not, because I'm not looking at him. I'm paying attention to what's going on in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting Theory know, Theory, please make the inside of your apartment, the entire floor, into something non-conductive.
I'm gonna stop you there, and I'm gonna make one roll here that you and Theory are gonna get an opportunity to roll with it.
okay.
But D and Morgan are not because of the horror factor. All right, so this is a roll versus impact.
You
Okay,
have to
so
rule against that.
Yes, you have to beat that roll. If you have
All
any,
right,
any
so,
bonuses
Lou.
versus punch, fall, or impact. Or impact, actually. Yes, go ahead.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go for Morgan.
+3, so that's an 8.
With my roll, I'm going for Morgan to pull him out of the way as well. He's right
Okay,
there.
so here's the thing. That's not in the sequence. I was trying to stop you, but I wanted to let you finish your entire thought, because you rarely do that. So I wanted to have a full idea of what your intent was. When you kicked the door, there was a concussive blast that pushed you back. That's the impact. That was the where you're going to be able to roll versus that impact. Otherwise, you take the full damage. Now, for Theory,
okay.
he made that roll, but it's to a lesser degree because you're further away, and D, you just get blown back off your feet. You know, for Morgan is at point blank, along with Sage. So
Can I roll with punch?
no, because of the horror factor. It's that 1 second where when he kicked the door in.
Okay, so is there a way that I can take that concussive
No.
force?
Yeah, by rolling with punch.
No, I need to protect Morgan.
You can. I will give you an acrobatics roll with a penalty of a 40. So whatever whatever your percentage is, minus 40 to that.
All right, so I would first have to make the roll,
Now-
and after I make the roll,
Yes.
I
Then you make the acrobatics roll
Percentage roll.
to
Okay.
grab him.
All right. So I actually make it easily with my bonuses, unless they're halved.
They will be halved, but you probably made it anyway. Well,
Yeah,
my
I
roll
made
was
it.
a 7 anyway, so it was a natural 7. So you beat that.
Yeah. All right. So now my acrobatics roll. Not with that,
Okay.
because you gave me the minus 40.
Yeah.
If not, I would have made it.
So boom, you're able to keep your equilibrium and almost grab him, but you hit the wall and you roll. You use the wall and twirl out of that to absorb most of that impact. For Morgan,
But I wasn't able to clear Morgan.
you weren't able to clear Morgan. Now Morgan, because you were at the door, it literally blew you forward into that old man's apartment. So you hit the window, but don't go through it because
Shell shock.
they're reinforced. So you're not gonna go through it just yet. But its spiderweb cracks the glass. So, you take 20 points of damage.
Okay.
D, you take 10 because of the distance, and Sage, you also take 10. Okay. Now, for Seraph, once Sage kicks in that door, there's a sudden spike of the of whatever was in that room was building, right? But it was contained to the walls and ceilings of that room. It wasn't escaping. When he did open the door, that energy starts expanding exponentially from her now. Because you can see that shimmering light is starting to dim. Not dim, but it's starting to shrink. As it's shrinking, it's still pulling into her, but a lot faster. Now you can see, with your optics, you can see she's like, like she's her muscles are spasming as this energy is entering her body, and it's like a spinning, it's entering her and going around, and you know what I mean?
Right. I get it.
So
I get it. I can visualize it.
thank you, because I could not describe it to save my life.
So
So
first
I call
things
the drone
first.
back to me.
I'm going to go with Seraph, then D, then Theory, because Seraph, then Theory, then Sage, then D, because the Theory made the roll, so he did not suffer any damage.
All right.
Actually, no, you rolled with the impact, so you only took 10 points. I'm sorry, 10 points of
I
essence.
only did okay.
Yeah, you all took 10 points that did, and 20 for Morgan that didn't. But so go ahead,
actually
Seraph.
would in theory have taken 5
No, he was closer.
since
Well, no, yeah, you're right. 5. I apologize. Yes. Okay, so
Thank you, Al.
Seraph.
All right. So drone comes back.
Yes.
I immediately process what I can. Did anything more change to that cluster of nanites?
They the structural integrity has been increased by about 400%. And there's the extra lines of code and the energy as they Voltron back onto your hand. You can see that a pulse of that purple energy just course right up your body. So, and now your energy temporarily, just for that split second, your energy output expanded for about 400% as well.
Right. I am going to take that. So it was just a moment
Yes.
of the energy output. Mine increased.
You can, I will give you, because of your increased reaction times, if you're going to take an action using that energy, you can do that now.
I'm going to literally push in using the expanding on the what is it? I've got that whole electrical discharge capability.
Mm-hmm.
That's normally just my hand. I'm going to use that to generate my own counter EMP
Okay.
and enter the field.
Okay. Theory.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Theory, what are you doing?
Okay, so I dodged the impact.
Yeah, essentially it just pushed you against the wall. Like if someone shoved you really hard against the wall. So you still
right.
you still kept your feet while everyone else was knocked off theirs.
All right. And now the creature that I'm looking at, is that above my sister? That's what I'm seeing. Is that
No,
what
no,
I-
no,
what
no.
I
You're
see?
still in the hallway.
I'm still in the hallway. It's just
What Seraph
okay.
is seeing is inside your apartment from the outside of
got
the
it.
building.
All right. So so we're basically just facing up against that creature. I'm pushed back against the wall.
Creatures to the right. He was your next door neighbor Ronald. He's a retiree, really nice guy. You guys get along really well.
Right.
And yeah, now Ronald's a monster who
Now
wasn't
Ronald's a
affected by that
monster.
blast. He's grabbing
Ronald's a big
as he's
monster.
grabbing the frame.
Does,
He's
does
just
it-
literally he can't really get his footing just because the way he's grabbing the frame and splintering it, he's not getting in a hold. He's just pulling it off.
All right.
All the
Like-
McDonald's characters have merged to become one.
Yeah, he's
Um,
super grimace.
Now,
Form blazing burger.
Does he still have like
He has no recognizable features except for like his undulating face that you
no, what I was gonna
recognize.
say was,
But that was it.
does he appear to still be wearing any type of fabric or garb on him? Despite that, like,
Whatever
does
he
still
was
have
wearing
clothes
is starting to rip and tear around him.
on? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to transform his clothes. Like how bad is it? Is it like Hulk bad, or is it like
So
is it? or is
Ronald's
it just-
usually
just
a
starch?
robe and slipper type of guy. He's one of those. He believes himself to be modeled after Hugh Hefner. So
Oh, gotcha.
he doesn't necessarily wear a lot of heavy clothes, but
All right.
yeah.
All right. I'm going to attempt to immobilize him by transforming whatever clothes he has on him into like iron. Just try to see if that like
Iron
stops.
is too light. There's another metal.
All right, you need you
Gold
need
is
to, you need to stop
Gold is
helping.
a heavy metal. What happened?
Seraph isn't. Don't be everywhere, man. Don't make me play the sound. Don't do it.
Well, gold is a heavy metal. Either which way,
You have to make a decision.
somebody's clothes being transformed into a metal rather than a fabric, Mike, would still give them some kind of pause.
Okay, I mean you're the one making this a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, so I'm gonna transform his whatever clothes he has on, even if they're not fully ripped yet.
Yeah.
Into like gold. So that way, see if I can see if that'll immobilize. Like, does he have like a robe and like pajama pants on and slippers, right? Basically.
Yeah. Give me a second. I gotta take this call.
All right, sure.
Yes, sir. A little bit. Why? What's up? Everything all right? Okay, I can pick you up.
I will be back.
I'll be right there.
Bathroom.
Bye. Okay, so that's a good segue. Let's take a break, and I'll be right back. And we'll be back as soon as we can.
Okay.
All right, so I need to pick up my kid. It should take me no more than 10 minutes. I'll be right back.
All right.
How was he saying?
Eric, you really need to have the periodic chart on hand.
I do. It's in front of me.
So, did you look at the densest metals?
I don't have densest, but at the end of the day, I mean, I do know that gold is heavy, right? Aluminum is light.
Gold is number 7 on the list.
Right.
Any metal that
But if you transform anybody's clothes or anything into any particular type of metal, I don't know how strong this thing is, right? It'll just even for like a hot second, it'll immobilize him for a couple of seconds. He doesn't necessarily have to fall back on his face, but he won't be able to, like, I don't know how strong he is. I don't know if he's supernatural strong, but he might not rip out of it immediately.
Right,
It'll-
right.
It'll just hinder him. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not like I'm turning into glass or something like that or whatever. I mean, in reality, I could turn his clothes into tar. Now he's just like fucking sticky and he's like, mired into something. But I was trying to think of something solid. Not only that, is D with me?
Yeah.
It's actually solid unless you heat it up.
No, is D with me? Is D here?
Yeah, he got up there before you did.
Okay, then we could do our combo. We could do our combo attack again, and he could shoot with electricity because gold is a electrical conductor.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is, but I'm just saying, electricity on this floor is not the right thing to do.
Well, you don't have as long as you're if the object I'm doing is on the person,
I'll chop his head off.
right? If the object I'm doing on the person, then you can electrocute the person, and it just adds to your damage. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't gonna turn the floor into like water or air or something so you could fall through. I wanted us all to like take them on.
I was thinking what Crimson Sage was saying, and I was saying make the floor plastic.
Well, we can't do that because I'm not in the room yet. We're fighting the guy outside in the hallway.
How far does your power expand?
I can do up. I can only. My range is 10 feet.
Hey, you whack.
His range is 10 feet, but he can turn up to a certain.
I don't have to roll to make. I don't have to roll to make the action. Whatever I do is just it does.
Eric, like, fuck you, man. No. All right, I'll pull out the gun and blast you with an electrical arc.
Yeah, so I'll transform his thing into gold because that's heavy, so he won't be able to be as mobile, and then hit him with the electrical blast again.
All right.
Sometimes the thing is there's multiple metals that do a lot of the same thing in
Yeah.
regards to what's going on. I
But
don't
what you
want
wanna
to use
do-
any type of element that creates fire, specifically fire, to burn him. I mean, I could turn his clothes into phosphorus, then he burns up. I don't want to do that. So I'm trying to think of something to where he can maybe be immobilized and everybody can attack him when he's struggling.
It's too bad that I can't tell you anything because you're going before me and I don't know what you're doing. But
Don't worry, Duffel. He's gonna kill all of us, and then you'll get blamed for it.
pretty much.
Oh, what's the problem, Spanky? Are you mad that it's not you for the first time?
No, I haven't never done that to anybody.
Don't be a hater.
Pretty much.
Don't be a hater.
All I would say is that I would take Dee's advice on that plan.
As far as the electrical,
And also, I would, if I were you, as a suggestion, I would try to maneuver my way towards the opening of your apartment.
well, I got pushed back against the wall, so it's hard.
Yeah, but you can move. I mean,
Yes.
off your feet.
Yes, but my
And this
the
thing
whole
is
action-
trying. This
the whole
thing
action is
already
I can't-
trying. Listen, this thing is already trying to get a foothold, meaning that it hasn't been able to adjust to its strength, which you can obviously see how strong it is by it ripping whatever it's holding.
right, but in context of how he's describing it versus what actual strength it is, my character would not know.
Yeah, it wouldn't know it's supernatural strength, but it would know.
I don't even know if it's supernatural strength. It could be extraordinary, and he's just
No.
ripped off a door.
No, I'm just letting you know from previous experiences, my character knows it's supernatural strength. My character.
Okay.
But I'm saying your character wouldn't definitely know that it's supernatural strength, but it would definitely register, holy shit, this thing is fucking strong,
Mhm.
right? So taking that and the fact that it's having an issue trying to get up, it gives you enough time to try and outmaneuver it instead of throwing the lightning, because I already told you you need something non-conductive.
Inside the building, inside my apartment, right?
Okay, but now
We're in the hallway.
But now you see that energy coming out of your apartment. You see that.
But we don't, have we identified the energy?
What I'm saying is that if I was asking you to do something non-conductive inside your room, inside your apartment, and now you see that same energy coming out of it, doing lightning may not be the best thing.
Okay.
In case.
Let me say this again. Have we identified the energy coming out of the apartment? Yes or no?
There's no way to identify it.
Okay, that's number one, right?
All I'm
The
going
only
by is
person,
the
wait,
visual.
let me finish. The only person in the room is Seraph. Am I correct?
No, he's feeding me the visual. So
I'm
who
outside.
has the
Who
visual
else-
that looks like electric
who else-
arcs.
All right, who else is in the room?
It's just Seraph, but he's feeding me the visual. So all I see is electric arcs.
Okay,
I'm asking you to do something non-conductive to stop that transfer. Understand? Because I don't know if it's being exerted or if it's being pulled in. There's no way to determine it from my point of view.
right, but aren't we being attacked?
But Seraph doesn't have, Seraph right now is dealing with his own thing. So this is happening at the same time. All I'm saying to you is that if I'm asking you to do something non-conductive inside your apartment, I kick the door, it does a concussive force to blow us back, and now that energy is pouring out, right? Regardless of whether we can identify it or not just yet, I was asking you already to do something non-conductive. That's all that's what I'm trying to get, the connection.
Al, I understood all of that. I understood all of that. But here's the simple part of the entire explanation. No, don't get grumbly. Here's the simple example of everything that's happening. We are facing off against another assailant where there is no energy inside the hallway that we're in. In order for me to do what I need to do, I have to go into my room to visit. My powers in line of sight, and they have a range.
I get that. And you
Gotcha. Now, wait. Has the creature that we're facing been empowered by any of the energy that is leaking from the room?
From our experience?
No, right now, not experience.
No,
right now.
hold on. Because the answer to that is, from our experience, Seraph, myself, Morgan, yes. But the issue is that the energy is located right now, concentrated in your apartment.
Right.
This
Have
is
you
that
defined
effect.
Have you defined the energy as being electrical?
From sight, yes. That's why I was asking you to do the non-conductive.
Wait, which I was going to do until we got attacked.
Hold on. But since it's trying to get up, you are more maneuverable right now, and you can get past that creature.
Right, by immobilizing it.
Now what?
I can't move. What if I roll a 1 to try to dodge, and then he hits me and kills me?
You're not gonna roll a 1, and I'm not gonna.
Have you met me?
Huh?
Have you met me? I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some juice.
All right. It's so hard not to be able to say something that makes.
You can say all the stuff you want in this moment. The problem is there's no guarantee that it's going to work. But you can say all you want.
No, but I mean, there's definitely the no, don't do that. But you can't say that really, because, you know, he has to play his character out. So, I mean, I'm just trying to help him, like, get away from that idea, because I know for a fact, if they do their combo, it's going to be a bad thing.
Right, but the reality is he's playing his character.
Yeah, and I can't be mad about that.
What the fuck is juice?
I won't
Just, just like I couldn't be mad at Jermaine or Spanky last game. You know, I was just like, oh, fuck, again. But we'll just gotta let it play out. Ah.
Who gets back? I'm gonna make a different change. I'm gonna make a change. That's all. I'll make a change.
No, it's
No. I have an
playing
idea.
your character.
I
No,
have an idea.
no.
I have an idea that works
Okay.
with both. Wait, I have an idea that works with both of the ideas that you want for me to do. I have a better idea.
No. Yeah, but
okay.
I also understand.
Okay. It's okay. I have an
Eric.
idea.
No, Eric. I also understand. It's fine what you do, right? Because you're playing out your character. I'm not mad about that, right? And I was telling Mike, I was like, I wish there was a way that I could just tell you, but I can't because of the sequence of things, and I'm not the one taking the action, right?
Right.
Either way, however it plays out is going to play out, right? But I mean, you got to play your character out, and you make perfect sense as to why you're doing what the actions you're doing. You know, and that's cool, right? It's like last time. I couldn't get mad at Spanky or Jermaine because they were playing their characters. You know, and I was like, oh, fuck, again, you know? But hey, that's what I choose.
Let me be clear though. Let me be clear. You did give me an idea of something to do when we got to the room. I was going to do that, but then we faced.
Yeah, then we got sidetracked with the conductor force and the creature. Yeah.
Right, we got faced off with this obstacle. Otherwise than that, if I had made it to the room, the first thing I would have did is I would have turned the floor into like some kind of silicate or like rubber or something like that, you know, around the area that Seraph is at.
Well, I'm not completely in the room. I have a drone that's in the room that just came back to me.
Say that one more time.
I sent a drone into the room that just came back to me.
Okay. Now with you, was the drone? Well, I wouldn't know really, but I guess was the drone. You said you let us know that there was some kind of electromagnetic interference.
Yep.
Anyway, so
He did. He
um,
texted every one of you that got that information.
right.
The only difference between what you guys know right now and I know is because he's feeding me a visual because of comms.
Right. Like, to be honest with you, a non-conductive metal, electromagnetism. See, if it was just electricity, it'd be one thing. But if it's electromagnetism, nickel, copper,
You don't want to
those
use
things-
metal for that. What you want to
those
use,
things are non-metallic. Those things are metallic, but don't conduct magnet.
you don't want to use,
They're not.
you don't want to use a non-conductive metal. What you want to use is a non-conductive material.
No, I understood that. No, that's what I said. I said if it's magnetism in play, certain metals are not magnetic, right? But since this is, we don't know since there's electrical energy at play, then clearly I need to do something like rubber or some kind of silicate or porcelain or some kind of non-conductive metal.
You can even use carbonite. You can even use carbonite. Carbonite is completely non-conductive, and it is also not a metal. It's a stone. I think it's carbonite.
No, just carbon. Carbon is fine. It's a crystal. It's a crystalline. You know. That's fine. Like if I turn the ground into coal, that'd be fine.
Yeah, but coal may be a problem because
Coal is only heat conductor,
yeah,
not fire, not electrical.
no, electricity, the heat, if there is any, can activate the coal.
I mean, in
It
reality,
won't explode, but it will set it on fire.
No, because it's we know that electricity can create a spark that can create fire, but for the most part, overall, no, I don't think that's how that works. But I would use something else. I would use like I said, plastic, rubber, you know, that's fine. Those are strong enough compounds or to resist that. So
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that.
Ooh. Nah, but that would kill us.
What are you thinking about?
Argon. Yeah,
No, that's a poison,
yeah,
if I'm correct.
it is. But it's also non-conductive, non-inflammatory. But it's a poison.
Look it up. I'm gonna look it up. No, I have it listed. I'm
Folks,
just
I'll be back in a few.
Alright.
I have it listed. I just wanted to. Let's see. I kind of got lazy and stopped writing all the elements down. I was writing like when I first made them up. When I started playing, I had like all the stuff listed, but then what I was gonna do was I was gonna take the ones that were not as useful, right? And I was just gonna have a standard list of useful elements that I generally have a table of consistent that are good
Well-
that would good do for actions.
To be truthful, every element has its use. It's just that
Some are
no,
in reality, right? There's a lot of them where they're not prominent. There are things that they're used for, like there's certain elements that go into the making of like computer chips
Mhm.
and things like that, right? And it's used for that. But I'm saying in the purpose of the game or any kind of like superhero action, right? I would need to use things that would be consistent with whatever it is I'm doing. You
Yeah,
know,
and that's what I'm saying.
transforming things to certain metals, transferring things to certain gases, transferring certain things to certain liquids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
No,
that would
but
be
that's-
consistent.
That's
Those are
what I was
consistent.
saying.
Yeah,
Every
that's why.
every element does have its usefulness. However, it's not. It's a situational thing. It's not like it's going to be a common use, like you said. You will look for the common use of most elements that are on that table, like let's say gold, iron, coal,
Right.
phosphorus, that type of stuff. But if you look at the entire table, every now and again, there are certain things on that table that can be used in mass amounts.
Did you say argon?
Argon, I think it's called. It's been a while since I've looked at a periodic table, but it's a gas.
Hold on a second.
It's what they use in sophisticated fire systems to suppress fire.
Okay.
And
I'm trying to look at my thing. I'm like, did I write that down?
it's useful because it's
Gas.
active. So if there's like an electrical fire, they can use that gas and snuff it out. But unfortunately, if there's anything caught inside that's organic or breathing, will die.
About an Ansel system.
Uh-huh. And those are the most expensive, most advanced systems there are. They're usually used in places like the CDC when they're culturing shit and stuff like that.
There we go. I got it. Noble gas it helps create light and it helps with creating light with electrical current. That's all it's used for.
Mhm.
So it's really not a useful in that sense. I mean, like if I needed to if we were in the dark and I was like, well, I could take this cup, right, and transform it into argon, and I have D use a little bit of electricity on it, then we have a burst of light, maybe. But otherwise, that is not really something that's used for for anything else. It's more like it's used to diffuse light. That's what it's good for. Like if there's electricity coming out of that room, I could turn certain things into argon, and then suddenly that electricity is making the whole light. Now we have a light show in the room. That's what's happening.
Yeah, because it's converting the electrical charge into a light show.
Yeah.
Which would be funny.
To be honest with you, there's really never been much of a situation that we've been in that has allowed me to use even like even 3% of the shit that's listed here.
Of course not.
You know,
That's what makes it fun, because you having the periodic table at your hand, that you could literally convert anything into anything else.
Mhm.
That in itself is a fucking interesting power, because I mean, I would figure out ways to use every single fucking element.
Well, the thing is that when you, like I said, I haven't finished writing stuff down. Like I have a bunch of, I still have like a decent list left, right? But there's certain ones I know off top that I know, like I haven't written down gold. I mean, I have gold written down, but I haven't put what gold's properties are. But I know what gold's properties are off the break. I know what iron does. I know what platinum does. I know what mercury is.
Like just for shits and giggles, like
I know uranium is.
I would turn their belt buckle into uranium.
So, I mean, I could have easily turned this dude's clothes into acid, right? But I was like, let me try to immobilize him. I'm thinking like, let me immobilize him so he can't move. I don't know how strong he is. Now, if he breaks out of the clothes, then we're definitely fucked. But I just transformed into. But I have a better idea that would help with both what you suggested and something that I can do.
I'm just gonna hate getting into combat with this thing, because they take a lot to take down. And what makes it worse is they feel absolutely no pain. So it's not like I can stun them either. So it has to be a throwdown with this piece of shit. And leveraging doesn't work out because they're so fucking strong.
All right, let me fight it.
No, I mean, my character is built for hand-to-hand combat. And my style of fighting is to take you off balance so I can take
And we're back. Theory of the Philosopher, Morgan Colton Wallace, Crimson Sage, D, single letter with serif. I will remind you all that you are muted, so you can unmute yourselves now. Okay. So,
I'm gonna change.
theories, action.
Yeah, it's gonna still be it's still the same action, but I'm gonna change the element that I'm using.
Okay.
I'm gonna transform his clothes into diamond. You just freeze.
No, I'm just trying to contemplate a diamond shirt.
Well, it would still be a hard. He can't. It's the hardest metal. It's the hardest substance known to man. They tell us, right? But it would still whatever he's got on, whether it's his shirt. Does he still have pants on or no?
Hold on, I gotta reset my camera.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you keep freezing.
It's a beta software for this camera, so that's why it's not 100% stable. So you're gonna change his garments to diamond.
Yeah, I'm gonna change his garments into diamond. Either which way, he would. It's the idea is to immobilize him. So if he was trying to flex out of his, clothes or whatever, he would still struggle a little bit.
That's
this
the
way,
theory. Okay.
It's not. Yeah. It's in this way. It also aligns with Sage's non-conductive
Properties.
properties.
Okay.
So
All right. So, D.
that's my.
As he's doing that, he's reaching out, and you can see he's changing the properties of the now creatures' garments into what looks like a crystal. You don't know if it's diamond or not, but it looks crystalline. It's like, and the thing is it's making these lumbering movements, these slow movements as it's trying to grab at this. Trying to pull itself up and using its other arm to push itself. It's still trying to get to its feet. So your action, and you are muted, sir.
I get a free attack.
What have I been saying this whole time? What are you doing?
Don't do the electricity now because I changed it into.
I can do electricity. I said I'm chopping his head off with my sword.
There you go. That's
All
it.
right. Roll. Are you having trouble finding the button?
No.
No. Even though he hasn't hit it yet.
Not with that roll.
Okay. So
You are gaga.
he runs up and takes a swing. What kind of a sword? What kind of a sword it is? What kind of a sword is it?
Oh, it is a magic sword, and if I did hit it, then it got to roll for life drain. That is 7th level spell.
Okay. So when you hit it, it embeds in its flesh, and you're struggling to pull it out because what's happening is as it's growing, it's literally growing around the blade. So you're trying to pull it out, but the surface of its skin is hardening as it's growing, as it's expanding. So you've essentially, in game terms, you did not penetrate its natural armor. You did hit, but you're struggling to pull that blade out. What's your strength?
21.
Okay. Next would be Crimson Sage and then Morgan. You are muted, Crimson Sage. You get to your feet.
Hey, I'm back.
Okay. So you rolled, you hit the wall, you did a little tumble as you made your attempt to grab Morgan, unsuccessfully. So you're basically in what it was in a Black Widow pose, which is hilarious to me. Seeing your face in a Black Widow pose.
I don't do poses.
Is it?
Such a poser. Such a
Okay.
poser.
So from set pose, right? I'm on my attack to go for this thing's arms. I'm going to cut it at the joint.
Okay.
So I can sever its arms off.
You're making a double strike.
Yep. And that is a critical.
What's the damage?
The damage will be a second. Oops, wrong page. Damage is 24, 65, 270 to each limb.
270 points.
Yep.
Okay. 1/6er.
Yeah, 270. And as I do that anime style slash through like a Naijutsu battle, I'm gonna kick off its back so I can get to Morgan and pull him off the window before he goes through it.
Okay. So in that moment, as you're you crack it in right at the neck and the shoulder, D, and you're just like, what the? Or here's, and the thing just hits the ground. It's like, it's no, but its limbs are just like they're twitching. The muscles are twitching, and nerve endings still firing. And
I didn't even see who did it.
You see him like.
It's a Gothel in a ninja suit.
You ever see those? You ever see
Three
those,
poses.
He has
you ever see those TikToks where it's like, okay, see how fast I did it, and the guy just pulls his thing out, and it's suddenly like, shoot. Like, what?
He has a headband
All
that
you
says
saw was-
ninja.
You saw him like, it looks like he unsheathed his sword, like, choo, choo. Holy, that's how fast it was.
All right, and you go into you tumble into the room to grab at Morgan, who's now reorienting himself from the concussion. So that leaves the thing is it's armless at its elbow, so it's still trying to move as it's growing, but the diamond suit is constricting it. Now you're able to pull your sword free, D.
Now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Me making contact with it, doesn't it still have to roll a save?
Would you like for me to make a roll?
That's because that shit that makes that thing do half. One.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So now, life drain, brother.
I think I would have rather have saved that roll for a hit.
Do you want me to read it to you what it does?
No, I'm totally okay with that. You can if you'd like to. But
Why do I have a bad feeling like someone's gonna get smushy today?
Oh yeah, of course he's gonna.
okay.
Okay, you know what? I just remembered I got something to do. Bye.
Okay, I love you. Bye bye.
I'm out of here. We all gotta die, man. We all gotta die.
Fucking goners, man. We're goners. Game over, man. Game over.
That was the best movie, bro.
Oh, I love that scene.
Okay.
I do love that scene. I also love the scene when homeboy's inside the pit, inside the back for the molten metal. Wait, is that all you got? Is that all you got? He's going
That was
to bits.
Charles Dutton.
That was memorable.
That scene could never be unseen.
Shit, the hell? Hold on. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. This is what I was trying to do. Hold on.
Okay, so Sarah.
Boring.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I meant to do, Lou. I was trying to roll how long my diamond thing lasts.
Okay.
So it
And
lasts
that's in
23 minutes.
It's minutes. Okay. Now, for Seraph, as they're engaging in his poor old neighbor, you rush in. You attempt the reverse, the what is it? The anti-EMT. Is it? Yeah. EMP.
It's the EMPP.
EMP.
Yeah, right. EMPP. Yeah, there you go.
When you do that, you guys feel a shock of you feel this static electricity in the air. Less so Sage and Morgan, because you're in the other apartment. More so Theory and D.
So their hair stand on
So
it.
you can
Say
feel
that one
it,
more
like
time. What happened?
the air itself is being statically charged. Now,
Okay.
D, you're turning and you can see into the room. You can see the girl. You can see his sister. She's floating. She's almost. Her skin is virtually rippling with energy, with that purple energy, and with her complexion, it almost looks like it's turned from that creamy brown to a deep purple as she's floating in the air. And you can, because you're in that door frame, you're literally right there, and you're looking into the room. You can only see but so much. From the left side of your sight, from your eye line, there's a spark of blue energy, like a flash of blue energy. As it's entering the room, you can hear, like that large. It's the sound of an electrical arc. It's like. Do you have electrical engineering or anything?
No.
I'm not that kind of angel. Anyway.
You had to bring him up, didn't you?
Yeah.
You just
That was your teammate, Adolfo. That was your dude.
I'm not that kind of angel. All right. So as this blue light, it's like the color of lightning, as it's entering into that space and flooding the room with light, like this bright fluorescent blue light. I'm going to give you one chance to avoid being blinded. You need to make a save versus non-lethal poisons. That's your baseline.
Right?
Yeah. You can use. Trying to think if. What's your physical prowess?
My physical prowess.
Whatever your physical prowess bonus is, you can add to the roll as a reaction to avoid getting blinded.
All right. That's a 1.
this is a blinding flash on crack.
Not with that roll.
Wait, you said with his physical prowess?
Yeah, because to cover his eyes or to avert his gaze.
Oh, okay.
So
It's not a spell.
So
or anything.
I have a question. This is a GM question.
yeah.
Are you allowed to use PE for a good portion sometimes or no?
And
Well, it depends on the circumstance. In this, it's not so much your endurance, but just his reaction speed.
Gotcha.
So you as you like what like taking this.
Damn. AD. First, you shit in your pants. Now, fine.
What you gonna do? It's a full moon.
Tell me.
I can't take it no more. Oh, you heard me? I didn't know if you heard me.
That part you heard. So for the next 12 mealies, which 12 by 15 is what?
3 minutes.
Okay. So for the next 3 minutes, you are completely blind. You
All
can't
right.
see anything.
Well, just to let you know, the creature, his SDC hit points and speed reduced by half. Attacks per melee are reduced by 1, and skills are -10.
Okay, he really wants me to understand what that life drain does.
Yes, because even though I ain't gonna be able to do nothing, at least the creature is really slow right now, and they have a better chance of killing it.
Okay, so
Or running.
for theory, you have you're far enough away that you see it, and you're able to cover your eyes. Yeah, cover your eyes, but it virtually fills the space. The same thing for you two. You're directly opposite. The door is directly in front of you, but Sage was running towards you, and you were sliding down the window. So that blinding flash, it's just momentary. It's like,
Correction, sir.
I think it's the flash from hitting the glass.
I was kicking off the creature so I can gallantly get 2 more again. Because remember, I do no poses.
Ugh, so disgusting.
Okay. Now, with that, there's a spark. There's an explosion, sort of like a transformer explosion. Do. As you feel the electricity in the air just dissipate, and it sort of singes all of you. Like the hairs on your arms feel a little crispier. Your arms, your neck, your hair. When you do that, Seraph, there is a concussive blast that shoots you back out of the apartments directly through the window. Like you tumble over yourself to eventually you're able to regain your equilibrium. And when you do, you find that you're at least 50 yards from that blast, but you're using your advanced optics. You can see her lying on the ground, and eventually you all, besides D, can see her lying on the ground. Her body is completely.
All of us, you said?
Yes, all of you. If there's no more energy, there's no more lights, there's no more anything.
In other words, he basically was the antimatter to the matter combining.
All right.
Kind of reaction.
That's
I
a
run over-
fair theory. Fair
I
assessment.
run over to her and grab her. Amy, Amy.
Once you touch her skin, you just you can't lift her because it's that static shock that you immediately get from
She's
her
still charged.
skin. You're like, oh.
Is she still turned
And
down?
your hand, both your hands are now numbed. Same numbness, like if you had lost your circulation and you're starting to get it back into your fingers.
So cover her in something that can dissipate the electricity or the charge. Capacitor or something.
You guys, by the way, Morgan, you're able to interact at this point. You're not like, it was just.
So I'm gonna
that
see.
was within that.
I see
that
what's
span of
going
time.
on. I'm gonna see if I can get rid of that charge from her body using the device.
No, it's not enough.
Okay.
You can tell,
No.
but you can tell that it once you make the attempt with the device, but it quickly overheats.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I put my chakram to her.
Okay, and I need you to make a save versus pain,
Me
oh wow.
or
Morgan,
him?
because
Or-
it is metal.
Here we go
I got
again.
a rubber glove.
When did you start wearing rubber gloves?
He did say he put them on earlier on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's fine.
Did say that.
Never mind then. I will give you that. Thank you very much, Mike, for helping him. I don't know why you're helping him, but you helped him. And
No, I was just stating a fact.
Fry him.
once you
I was just stating a fact. Yeah.
when you do touch it, you know that you can feel that even through the glove you can feel like that staticky charge, like
Like
it's starting to give you that little tickly feeling on your palm and your fingers, and you can see the where you touch it with the chakram, it's starting to heat up.
So I take it off.
Hmm. So essentially, no visible effects to her from using it.
Wrap her in something that can dissipate the charge.
Like, you're in an apartment. Imagine you're in an apartment and you're looking around. There's a sofa.
So what I do is I go into the
there's-
bedroom real quick.
Mhm.
I grab the sheets and I put them over her, right? So that way he has something that he can work with that'll dissipate the charge.
Okay.
Now I'm hoping that he knows what he can convert it to. All I'm giving is a suggestion, because me personally, I don't know what he can convert it to.
I think he meant you, Theory.
I know. I didn't know if he was finished. All right. So, I mean, something a rubber, like some kind of rubber or something would work to conduct it.
Some rubber something.
Yeah,
Your descriptors are amazing.
I know they're horrible. Yeah, I just turned into some type of rubber, plastic or some kind of rubbery.
Can I call a time real quick?
Ooh,
Yeah. And this is to help Theory out a bit, because he wouldn't notice, being that it's his power.
The device, it's not him.
Doesn't matter. His ability.
again.
Mr. Electrical Genius. Yes, you. What can he convert the sheets into to dissipate the electricity, to act like a capacitor?
1.21 gigawatts.
Well, hey Lou, let me know when I am able to go back in the room. I
Yeah.
can clearly hear their conversation.
If it's silicone, if it's
you're able to
silicone or
fly back
rubber,
in. Yeah.
it'll basically protect anybody.
Right. So I can just
No, but what would he convert it to in order to discharge it, so he could pull it from her?
I don't know if there's anything I could.
I'm gonna see if I could ground her.
Yeah, I don't
Okay,
know if there's
hey.
anything I could.
Grounding system of a building,
Hey Lou,
like the grounding, like the ground wire from her, like say the panel inside Fahib's apartment. If he grabbed it,
wow, Fahibs.
I thought that's what he said. I
don't know,
thought that's what
Theory?
he said, but I was like, no, he couldn't have possibly have said that. But he did.
don't be sensitive, Mike. Please don't start acting like that.
I'm making jokes like, wow,
You're fired.
Fahib.
I'm gonna
It's jokes.
I'm gonna transform it.
Panel is the largest grounded conductor that's close by him, besides the main electrode of the building. That ground also connects to the building steel, so that should work.
Yeah, it should dissipate it, yeah.
It's just going to go down into the earth, because that's where electricity is going to go. It goes back to its main source or to the earth.
We're on the 20-something floor.
Doesn't matter. It still connects to the building steel.
What is most floors made out of? Most like floors inside like buildings. made
Steel
out
inside the concrete.
of. No. I'm saying the floor in an apartment.
It's hardwood floors. So
Right.
hardwood floor and a little
hardwood
bit of
floors,
carpeting here and
Large
there.
skyscrapers wouldn't
Even-
have a wooden
Even
floor.
a hardwood Even
They-
a
It
hard-
could.
But they put
The,
Well,
the,
even if-
the,
even
the
if-
even if
flooring
it's
is
made
the
of
covering.
sheetrock, even if it's made of sheetrock,
The flooring is
right?
the covering. It's not necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. This like the material is not metal. So I
Um,
mean, I can make sure that when he
Hey.
gives me the blanket
What do you got,
Lou,
Mike?
and I transform it into a rubber,
Hmm.
I can still allow it to have the same level of malleability despite the fact that I'm transforming it. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
So that's what I do
hey Lou,
Yes,
and
sir.
cover her.
have I recovered yet?
You have,
or am I
and
still?
you are now swarming your way back into the room.
You are
Okay.
still seeing mechanical Tweeties.
All right. So when I hear them talking about grounding and so on, I look at her.
Mhm.
What am I seeing?
She's emanating a form of quantum energy.
Oh, Dad would love to see this. Quantum energy. Ooh.
Now remember, we don't know that.
He's the only one that does.
I do.
Now,
Actually, Morgan would know.
well, from the readings, he was able to gather. He would
Right.
he'd be able to know that. Yeah. So
So
She
I
starts
say, not
speaking-
even remembering at the moment that I'm supposed to be impersonating my dad,
Mhm.
she is radiating a form of quantum energy. This is not regular electricity.
What? What the hell is quantum energy? Clueless, zero knowledge of quantum anything.
So I'm like, I go out to examine her. How she's that highly charged. Touching her is out of the question, right?
mhm. Well,
Directly touching her.
for the organics, absolutely. If they touch her with bare hands, that's a bad.
Or even with rubber gloves or
even
anything.
even with
we-
this,
All right.
they'd
She
have
definitely
to have some
discharges,
heavy form of protection.
which is
All
the
right.
reason why we thought it was electricity. But you're talking about quantum energy? What the hell is that? Mind you,
Okay. First, I go.
concentrated on the girl. I'm not noticing that his robotic voice. It's not even Dr. Acosta.
So I walk up, kneel down because I'm guessing she's on the floor,
She is.
and I grab her hand
Okay.
with my composite hand.
Okay. So when you do that, you can, that particular hand is shielded from the excess output, but you can feel it. It's radiating a massive amount of heat. Now, when you grab her hand, you can see her eyes start to flutter open. Sorry. She's taking an inhale of breath. You're all surrounding her, and she's just looking up at all of you. At this point, you all realize that she's naked and purple. Her
So
hair is
she's Star Fox.
her
It's not-
hair is black. Her eyes are they're when she opens them, there's a white corona. Like her irises are completely white, but everything else is a deep shade of purple.
All right. So I say to her, Miss Patel, can you hear me?
She's just looking.
Omri,
Just looking
Omri,
around.
are you okay? What happened? Speak to me.
Her voice.
He's really
seems-
sitting there eating snacks.
He's just from the kitchen. He's like, "Are you okay?"
I ran 20 floors. I'm hungry.
Lou,
Yes.
while everybody's kind of lingering there, I'm gonna peek back at that thing that's still kind of like trying to move,
Mhm.
making sure that its limbs are not growing back, and it's gonna surprise the fuck out of us.
Okay.
So, yeah. If there's another one lingering around.
All right. It's still trying to move, and you can see now. It's looking not at you, but at her. It's like, Like its jaw is so distended that it can't make any distinguishing sounds, or if it was trying to talk, you wouldn't be able to know what it's saying. Now, by reading its lips, anyway. So her voice seems modulated, almost as if it's auto-tuned. What's going on?
Oh, so she's Cursor from Automan?
I'm
So
staring now.
I say, Miss Patel, you unfortunately have been the victim of an attempt to open some kind of gateway.
I'm puzzled at the whole situation because even in real life, they've done experiments with quantum energy, and the human consciousness affects quantum energy. So I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to disperse it by thought.
It's like, what are you talking about? Who are these people? She's looking at you, Theory. What's your character's first name again?
Gavi.
Gabi. She's like, Gabi?
Her name is Amrita, but I always call her Amri.
Yeah. It's like, Gabi, what's happening? Who are these people?
Amri.
I'm gonna look at her.
You don't remember anything that happened to you? You don't remember anything that happened? When did you get to the apartment?
It's just like, what are you talking? And she looks past you, and you follow her gaze, and there's a piece of a broken mirror
Mhm.
that she's staring right into. She's like, what?
Miss Patel, please remain calm.
Then
I need you with some
you can
soap.
see she looks at her hand, and she's like, what happened? What's happened to me?
You have been changed,
sorry,
Miss
I'm
Patel.
sorry,
You do not
sis.
know exactly what's going on.
You notice a spike in the energy output. Her energy output is increasing.
There's too much noise going on at the same
All
time.
right. Seraph is the one that you notice a spike in her energy. And she's like,
So I say, please remain calm, Miss Patel. Excitement will not help the situation.
like, what? She's
That's
like,
right. I just told the woman to remain calm, to calm down.
Since I can hear,
Yeah.
since I can hear what Seraph is saying through the comm, I'll let him know, Dr. Costa, that's not gonna work.
She's like, she starts rubbing her hand, the back of her hands to like as if it was a paint on her skin. She's like, and as she's doing that,
I don't know, Amri.
Morgan is the
We'll
first
figure it
one to
out.
notice,
We'll figure it
followed by a nanosecond behind Seraph. As she's rubbing her hands between the webbing of her fingers, you can see these lances of purplish white energy as she's rubbing her hands.
You said that to who? Well, that's
Morgan
obvious.
is the first one to see it because of his heightened senses and his heightened awareness, and Seraph is the second. Seraph notices it by sheer instrumentation. So as she's rubbing her hands, all between her fingers, there's these lances of white and purple of electricity. As she's,
I'm gonna tell everyone to back up.
she's like, what is
She's so
going on?
juiced.
She's like, what's happening to me, Gabi? What?
Amri, calm down.
This
There's
is
a lot
not gonna
going
be
on.
good.
Whatever happened to you, they were trying to attack me through you. My
Who?
friends
What
and
are,
I, my new friends and I are
what are you
gonna help
talking
you figure
about?
this out.
Come here.
Just stay calm. We'll figure this out.
Whatever you had covering her, that rubberized material, you can see it. You can see this. Whatever the parts of her body that were touching, you can
Right.
see it starting to glow red.
Okay, Lou,
Yeah.
this is gonna hurt a lot. I wrap around her the same way I do with Dad and go right out the building
Okay. So
and straight up.
I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna throw a
he's like,
magnetic grenade at him as he goes.
and he wraps around her and What were you gonna? You say you were gonna throw a magnetic grenade? Jesus Christ!
You'll survive.
So, oh, here's oh, no, what's going on? And he flies out the window, and he's like, and goes straight up.
So as he does that, he's killed her. I'm gonna turn to Dobby and be like, he's decided to kill her because she can't be saved.
Wow.
Wow. So while I am flying up with her, I say, Miss,
You see my percentage, right? I roll.
Oh my God! All right.
Miss Patel, it is of utmost importance that you remain
So
calm.
what are you
You have
doing?
been transformed by somebody or something else.
Just think, what's going on?
It is supernatural in origin. That's all we know so far.
You've-
It's extra dimensional.
Everywhere but your right hand, you can feel this energy building from her, and it's starting to move. It's starting to turn you from solid into your swarm form against your will. So it's pushing outwards. You can.
And I am going to do everything in my power to stay as cohesive as possible so that I don't drop her.
How high are you going?
It was just to get clear of the building.
Okay, so that's another 10 stories. So that's another 100 feet, and that's
Clear
just to
would be an
clear the
additional
roof.
10.
So I will actually hover above the building itself, and I will slowly lower down. But while I'm doing that, I'm trying to reassure her the same way I did with my brother.
Okay. Hold on for one
He's there.
second, fellers.
So I'm trying to speak in more soothing tones,
Mhm.
copying the patterns of mom.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So you guys, as in that split second that he flew out and up, everyone's just like bonked. You can still hear the creatures and hear, I still can't see. I'm still blind here, fellas. But there's a noticeable darkening of the sky. The sun had come up, and it just peeked over the hills. But you, Seraph, you can whatever she's doing is affecting the atmosphere to where you can see these clouds just start to form, black clouds. You feel this rain, but this rain it's charged with electrical particles. So, and you can hear the thunder. You can see lances of lightning in the sky. But this
Okay.
lightning is starting to turn. It's having that purple tinge to it.
Okay, it's time to fly out over the water. We are in where exactly?
You're in LA.
We're in Frisco, right?
No, you're in LA.
in LA.
We're in LA. Okay, I need to get out over the water
Uh-huh.
just in case.
Okay.
So as fast as I can, that is the direction I'm heading towards.
Lou,
Yes, sir.
since I'm still on comms with, and I'm listening to how Dr. Acosta is trying to calm her down. I'm listening to all the things that are happening outside while I'm looking, I'm just being vigilant just in case there's any other surprises. But listening in on the conversation and what's going on the outside, I'm going to ask Dr. Acosta, AKA Seraph, is that her doing that?
Well, first, do I get the message? Lou?
It's heavily interfered with. It's like, is that doing that? So it's like, shh.
I tried to send a text message saying that she is causing serious interference. I'm taking her out over the water.
Morgan, roll perception. Okay. I make you roll just in case you roll that one.
No.
Now, as this is all going on, you can hear a door. The hinges, just a slight hinge noise from a door. for coming from that hallway.
I'm gonna turn to the group and let them know. There was an old man that was possessed. There's a possibility there's more, and I'm gonna start going towards the window.
He's like,
I got a fucking grapple hook gun. I'm good. I'm smart, not stupid. I'm out.
he's like-
I know what I can fight.
Okay, so he let you guys know. And just so that I put it out there, there is a blind albino in the hallway.
Okay, so I don't notice anything?
He tells you this, though. That's what I'm saying.
Then Morgan just said what? Morgan was like, what?
Repeat it.
Repeat it, Morgan.
I said there was an old man that was possessed across the hall. There's a possibility with the energy influx that came in from another place.
We might have more. So you're saying that they might turn more of my neighbors into things like that?
Yes, this is why I'm
Not
stepping
my,
towards the window.
they are turned, which is the reason why I was keeping the watch, just in case.
Yeah, but in order for you to keep watch, you couldn't have interacted with her. That's why I'm saying it the way I'm saying
I
it.
wasn't interacting with her.
You weren't in the
All
room.
I did was ask Theory to do something to try and dissipate the electricity that we thought it was at the time.
Okay.
Until Seraph came in and said it was quantum energy. At that point, I knew I was out of my league, and I told you specifically, I'm stepping away so I can keep an eye out on this thing that's still moving, and also keeping vigilant
My
for
assumption
any
was
others.
my assumption is that you were standing in the doorway, watching,
No.
looking at him. Okay,
No.
that's fine. So
Oh,
I will.
And also, Lou, as this is going on, I'm going to see if I could contact Rivers and tell her that what's happened and this building needs to be quarantined ASAP.
Okay, you need to roll perception, Sage.
Lou.
It'll be an easy roll. It's going to be an 8 or better. Because you're already in the hall. Yes, D.
Me being blind.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be blinded for at least another minute and
12
a half.
years.
It's all right. Shut up. You blind right now. With my sword, I'm gonna back up. I still kind of know by just sense of direction where the door is, where we came up the stairs.
Okay, so I will say yes. However, it is disorienting when you were blinded. So
Okay, but I'm gonna lead myself towards the door and use my silver.
he's going to lead himself towards the other door and towards the noise. Now,
I'm gonna use my sword as like a walking stick, a blind man's stick. So once it hits the door, I'm gonna go to the door and go inside the staircase.
okay, Morgan, are you seriously grappling to the roof?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, his power is Picard.
Wow.
I'm radioing.
Wait. Hold on for a second. Yo, he said
Where's this
fuck
come
our
from?
flowers. It's like, what can you do?
Wow.
Yo, that was just damn. Yeah, I gotta check
Put my chakra in his ass.
I gotta. I
cut his
gotta
butt
make sure to
in half.
bolt all the doors in my house because apparently the devil's coming tonight. Because he's been on fire this whole night. What the hell?
Man. Yeah,
His-
that's ooh.
His power is baka. You are stupid. Okay, so you're just like, there's something in the hallway.
I see what them things can do.
Now you turn, because of his senses, he hears it before you do, but you do eventually turn to see the source of that noise. This time, it's two people. It looks like an adult and a metamorphosized child, and they're both opening the door like with it. They're the same. In their own shapes, but the same build. You can see that their skins have been ripped and reformed. And they're just the child is like it just grabs the floor. Essentially the transformation is more upper body, so it's using its arms to propel itself, and its legs to stabilize itself. Does that make sense? Sort of
Yeah.
like running like an
Just
animal.
It's gorilla running.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It's
I'm-
gorilla running.
And I'm pretty much on par with that. So yeah.
Here's your
So,
Because
oh,
I
here's-
remember the last time that it surprised me with its speed.
So,
So, no.
So all you hear and down the hallway is like, fuck this shit. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. The door's
Okay,
here
so-
somewhere, I know it. Theory,
So
that
I am-
leaves you in the room with with no one because Seraph made off with your sister.
All right. So I am literally staying.
You get
stand-
one action
around.
before I declare an initiative unless your action negates the initiative.
What I'm doing is I'm standing my ground in between
Salud.
and the oncoming attack because obviously he doesn't know that it's coming.
20. Oh.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my action, anticipating it to lunge. I'm going to attempt a simultaneous to cut it again at the elbows so it can lose complete momentum. Because I know that trying to do unbalancing things just on technique are not going to work because of their strength.
Okay.
Work on timing.
Alrighty then.
You will
Theory.
timely fail.
You do hear that. You hear that. The two distinct sounds from two distinct voice boxes, and you can see Sage is like, "I don't want to die," and Shiori's like.
I'm gonna throw a Bowie knife at his dog's ass.
You're on the roof. Pakaing.
I call on the power of the mighty chicken.
That's funny as shit. What's your pooper power?
It has helped me this far.
It's kept me alive. Theory, what are you doing?
Right now we're being attacked by more of my neighbors apparently. So they're jumping into my room.
They're not
attacking
jumping
us.
into your room. They're in the hallway.
Oh, they're in the hallway.
Yes.
All right. Sarah went outside with my sister.
The
Morgan is where
British
again?
kid was like, "Fuck this noise."
And he left. He ran out. He ran out of my apartment.
No, he jumped out the window.
Yeah. He
If this can't
out.
fly,
He
I'm
jumped.
out.
He looked. He leaned out the window, took his grappling guns, like,
Oh, so he went
and
out
just,
and just.
went up.
I don't know. All this time, I didn't even know you had gadgets, bro. I just thought you.
I have a whole bunch of shit in my
I
bag.
just thought you were running around being a pretentious British dick. I didn't know you had weapons. All
He
right.
is Batman's cousin, Chicken Man.
But yes, actually.
El gallo.
Sage,
Yes to all of that.
Sage is where? Sage is where?
Sage is in the hall. You can see him.
About to die.
He's in the hallway. He's getting into a fighting stance.
Okay. And
Not a pose,
a
but a
stance,
fighting stance.
which is
The pose comes after.
Which
which
is
is
a pose.
which is a pose. And D is where?
He's blind. He's Stevie wondering it down the hallway.
He's okay.
With a sword.
I'm gonna
Gling, 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 gling,
I'm gonna
gling.
scream.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are these things immune to are these things affected by silver? I screamed that to
The only other person in the room, the only other person in eyesight. That's you. He's like, Silver. He's like, I'm gonna die. Silver. What the fuck?
I need
Might
to,
want to try Saw.
Oh,
Oh my god, no. I'm gonna
no,
throw
but is anybody? I mean,
he yells.
I'm
He yells that
assuming
at you,
these
so,
creatures-
at you, Sage. So I mean, you're the only one that can respond. Responding doesn't cost you an action.
Not that I know of.
Well, from what I understand, most creatures of magic might be, and what I do is I take one of my chairs, right? I lean it over, like say it's just a wooden chair. I pop the leg off, I transform it to silver, right? And I basically make it like a makeshift bat for myself.
All right.
Like a makeshift flag.
Let's get this party started.
Don't forget to carve in the runes FU.
Lucille. Okay, that's my initiative roll.
Oh,
I think 20, 20, 20, 20.
okay. All right. I see how we're playing it. Good thing they call it simultaneous.
I will bless you with another 20. Just because you need to hit him in the crotch.
Right.
All right.
I got a 14.
Mm-hmm.
What's this? Anish?
Yeah.
It is. You automatically lose the initiative. You automatically go last, D.
Dude, I should already be in the staircase. Come on now.
I ain't fighting him out.
Yeah,
You're like, ding,
I
ding,
just
ding, ding.
ran away.
Oh, you hear it's ding, 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 ding.
We're not stupid.
All right. So
Just because you're running in feet
that little one's like,
it goes through your face. 20. It gouges your eyes.
Okay.
that's
My roll.
a
You got that
14.
shit.
I didn't put the bonus. This is a 14.
Okay. Yeah.
You have any pluses?
What is that, like a 30?
Don't you have any pluses?
Like 30?
My pluses are
All
right
alone
now,
in the moonlight.
16.
Huh?
If that man ain't got shit on him.
So you're doing the simultaneous attack.
I'm doing a simultaneous attack, and I'm going right for it. It's
Because you do realize I still hit.
yeah, but my purpose is to catch it right at the joints, like I did the other one. At the same time, it's going to propel its attack. So I'm trying to time it so where I nullify his. I also have a skill called
That's not
anticipation.
simultaneous.
Doesn't work that way.
Okay, so
You
what
just
what
hit
is
him-
anticipation?
You just hit him
do?
faster than he does. You just hit him faster than.
Oh, hold on. Let him. He does have a specific skill that may apply.
Right. There you go.
I have a skill that's anticipation that anticipates the attack. So literally, if I call it simultaneous, I hit first.
But that's only with a fist, and it only does a D4 damage. You can't even add strength or weapon damage. Just a D4.
No, what I'm doing is I'm severing its joints.
With a D4?
No, with his weapons.
with the blades.
Okay.
That's a hand-to-hand skill. You know that. It's not a weapon kata. It's nothing.
But
But
with
with
my
attack.
training, it is also a weapon skill.
Okay. Now,
That's like I'm gonna go box people with knives.
It,
I mean, you can.
True. With this system, you can. I can't even argue that.
Dude, you can.
the only thing is that with that, it would be my bonus is in half, but my bonus in strike is a 17, so that's like a +8.
What is the
22.
what is the
And
damage?
it's still a critical.
But you only can use one or the other. You call simultaneous anticipation as one at a time. Aha! I figured that one out. You can only do one or the other.
No. What I'm saying is that the purpose for the attack is just to sever the limbs.
Let Lou decide what it
Find
is.
his attack.
What is the damage? Remember, fellas, I don't care about low-level mooks. This is all building.
Yeah.
If I wanted to kill Adolfo, he'd be dead.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes. 80 times over.
Yes.
Yep.
Believe me.
I do. That's why I left.
Okay, that is not an automatic damage.
I was like,
To roll the damage.
you all get the point that it is pretty bad out.
That's 5,200.
Okay. So, it rolled through.
Okay. As I do that,
You see it's
let me
it's trying to
position myself.
it's trying to scramble to its feet.
As I do that, I position myself to wait for the attack that's in front and counter anything that he may be doing. So I'm positioning myself sideways so I can respond to either or both at the same time.
Okay, so theory, as you're like, Lucille, you just see this thing is like, it was little Jimmy Tolliver, and
Jimmy Oliver.
it flew past. It's tiny, but this thing was just a ball of. It's like Gollum on steroids, as if it just jumped vertically, horizontally at him, and you can see he's just like, "Shing fish,
And then
I
he-
gotta get
and
that
then
sound effect. That's gonna be the next. That's gonna be your fucking sound effects. Flash. Dun, 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 dun.
So basically, whatever
And you can
Sage
hear
did,
you can hear little
he
Jimmy.
not to pass me.
Yeah, you're still in the room. So if you're looking at the doorway and him in the hallway, this thing just flew past as he backs up and just you can see the glint of his blades and you can hear
Right.
you can hear it stumping with its strength as it's hitting the ground to try to get itself boom boom boom.
Right.
So D, you hear this as well. In about 30 seconds, in the next 2 melees, your sight will come back, but you are at the door. You can feel it now. You're muted still.
It's my go, correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna open the door and just slide in and just close the door and just.
I see this is a group call. All right, now
Lou, I'm like this with my sword.
I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay.
He is communing with Chicken Man.
All right, so theory.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the hallway.
You know
and,
that
what's it-
Jimmy's mother, Sarah, is a stay-at-home mom. She's a very nice woman, and you go into the
Fuck that,
hallway
her-
and you
her-
turn.
Her demon spawn is trying to kill us.
and you see the demon spawn maker, and she's
Oh.
just like,
All right, well, I'm going to bash her in the head with my silver.
he's like, damn you, Sarah!
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
I did not like your
So,
cooking. You didn't
I'm
put enough
looking-
curry in the sauce. No, I'm just kidding. That's fucked up.
I'm looking at Theory do this like
He just comes down to the hallway, sees you.
it's like the fuck you think
He
you are?
comes into the hallway, sees you with his little his makeshift silver
God.
bat, turns to her, and then just charges at her with the bat. And he
And I
rolls
miss.
a 1.
I miss. Hey, Adolfo, have you met me?
Okay.
Okay.
So as you're just like, ah! She's just like, grabs the silver and grabs your hands and just lifts you up and is about to slam him down. So, Sage, I'm gonna give you one opportunity attack because she's moving purposefully, but you can't loose from her grip. Absolutely not. And matter of fact, you both hear it, then you feel it. You hear a crunch from both your wrists as they're crushed, and both
Me?
your hands as they're crushed under her grip.
Oh shit!
She grabbed the bat first, right?
No, she grabbed his hands because he's holding the bat to swing. So she's and he's just like, oh my god, oh this is bad. No, roll
Yeah,
versus
this is bad,
pain
actually.
versus pain.
All right, so I stab her.
Wait, let me get my next character ready.
I got a
You heard
both
me,
of
right?
those.
You heard,
I
you heard
feel
me,
this is
right?
gonna be an Orion moment.
I'm gonna stab her by stabbing through him.
Ah, Make a roll versus
I don't see a problem.
make
Make
a roll versus pain theory.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that. So,
Wait, hold on. Let him make that roll.
as I was anticipating some dumbness, as soon as I
dumbness.
see her grab him, I know it's too late to save his hands.
Dumbness manifests.
Immediately jumping into action.
Theory.
Like
Make
doing leap
a
attack.
save versus pain, please.
Oh, save versus pain.
Yes,
Okay. What do I need? A 16?
And whatever
Okay.
bonuses that you may have had from.
I have none.
14 or better. What's your PE?
It's
My PE is
16
a 12.
actually.
Okay, you have none.
Okay.
He did say that, yeah.
Oh no, it's 14 better. Okay, you're right. It's I'm thinking of ritual magic. So
Yeah.
you're just like, oh. Okay.
No, that's a ball strike.
Essentially, your SDC
Bonus
for
blue.
for both your hands is reduced to 0. So they're just
So his
essentially
hands are pulverized.
So you
Okay, great.
just
Okay,
crushes them.
so
Okay.
immediately jumping into action, doing a leap attack a la Strider.
Okay.
I'm going to be bouncing off the walls so I can come down on an angled attack so I can sever its arms. One going for the one that's holding him, and the other one that I'm believing is going to attempt to try and stop me. That way, he can drop to the floor, and I can take away its real powerful move, which is that punch and throwing shit.
Make the roll.
Whee! No, there's an actual app called Wii.
No. That one is just hilarious.
20.
Ah, nice. So he's like, hush. I hear
So-
fing, fing, fing from fucking Strider. Fing, 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 fing. So in the vein of what's his name? Levi versus the Beast Titan. So at one point she was holding him and then just looking at the stump as it's bleeding, and then turns to you.
Oh, save got 20? Nice.
Damn, Stumpy.
I takes that swing.
She still hits.
He still hits.
So I'm going
Did
to
you save me just now?
He did.
Okay. My hands are trash. Did she
I'm
drop
going
me?
to parry such a way that when I parry the hit, knowing its strength, literally uses her own force to push me back, but without taking any damage.
Make your roll, please.
Oh my goodness, there's so much good food here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
think I got that.
Snow show.
she practically knocks
So
you back.
literally, it's going to be an anime slide.
Yeah,
That's what's going to
she
happen.
knocks you back to the door where you could see a crying D holding his sword.
Question. Can in that moment I grab
No,
Theory?
no, absolutely.
Can I
not.
make an attempt?
Absolutely not.
Come on.
No.
Now,
Come on, my reflexes and
So-
all. And
so-
it's- you know
so-
what? I'm going to use a hero point.
All right.
I'm going to use a hero point to grab him as she pushes me back.
Okay. Make an it would be an acrobatics roll. No no penalty because of the hero point. I'll give you that. We're using hero points.
Right.
use a hero point to
So-
counter him.
You're just like,
Even with
matter of fact, you look like Deadpool when he punched Colossus. He's like,
Yeah.
all of a sudden he's like, by the back of
Wait.
his shirt.
Who's the person in the team that has healing powers?
nobody.
Yeah.
Vona doesn't have healing. Nobody has healing abilities. Oh,
No, you're going to have to heal this one.
No, everybody wants to be the lone wolf tank. So
Yeah, I wasn't trying to be low with tank. I was trying something different, but Jesus
No.
Christ.
I'm not saying anything.
I tried something.
So
a little
you-
more
you
different.
get
I
pulled
did
back.
wall running.
And you're just like, because of the you know that sudden jerk from him grabbing you with the force that he's being propelled by. So you guys at the back of the hall. I don't know what the hell that was. I'm trying to ignore that. Now, you're almost at the door to the stairwell. So you can see her like she has no hands, but she still has functioning forearms, elbows.
And she's still standing upright.
She's still standing upright.
I'm
And
gonna open the door,
there's a
and
smaller
I'm gonna call for
version.
D.
There's a smaller armless version that's still now it's just like crawling towards you like an inchworm. Okay.
Open the door. I'm gonna call out for D.
Now you can see him. He's there crying. He's crying against the door.
I'm gonna tell him, take Theory out of here.
It's the crying game.
And I slide Theory out the door.
Like,
Okay.
no, I'm on his throat.
Okay. Now I'm gonna go to Seraph as you guys are escaping. Morgan's already on the roof, like I hope they're all right.
I'm gonna pull out a small drone with a camera so I can see what's going on.
That is a
What
total dick move.
what you see makes you giggle, but they're able to escape. Seraph, you land on the nearest beach, and you're finally just as you're landing in cinematic fashion, you're finally repelled by her, and you can see in the classic Human Torch, but purple white energy as she seems to be on fire. As soon as she touches the sand, it turns to glass. She's just like, what's happening to me? The whole, all the clouds are completely are black. People are running away now. You know, the people the beachgoers that were there, everyone was moving away because of the lightning, and the lifeguards were getting everybody out of the water anyway. But now people are freaking out because of her, and she's just like looking around. Like, there's no recognition of who you are, obviously.
Yeah, she wouldn't know me.
So she's like, what's happening? Just holding her head, just like.
And so I say it again. I say, Miss Patel, I am a friend of your brother. I am here to help you.
She yells. She lets out this primal scream, and as she does, this vortex of energy swirls around her and just and hits the sky, charging it with with quantum particles. And you now you can see the energy that's built from all that lightning and all that thunder. It just rains down this purple energy. This lightning is hitting everywhere around. It's incinerating those poor folks that were caught unawares as they were running away. There was a man in there was a couple in some jet skis. They explode out of the water. From that release of energy, she hits the ground and reverts into a normalish state, into a non-quantum, non-energized state. The sand around her for at least 20 feet is completely glass.
Okay.
So
She's
our Captain Marvel.
I call the GSTF
And with
and let them know.
once she de-energizes, the clouds start to dissipate.
Right. So I call GSTF.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I reached out to them as my dad and report that they need to send a transport for one Miss Patel and I give them my location. And I also let them know that they need to send transport for the others who are still at Mr. Patel's apartment.
All right, your message is received.
Question,
I remember
Do I
earlier
hear-
I said I was calling Rivers to let her know to quarantine the building in case there were more creatures.
Correct. And no, Sage, you do not hear his communication. There was way too much interference.
all right, so unbeknownst to me that they've already called ahead, I myself will call an Agent Rivers
Hmm.
and let him know there are two creatures, actually three, that we fought. That, do you need me to dispatch them or do you want to capture them?
Are they immobile? Can they be transported safely?
No, they're too strong, but two are immobile, kinda. There is one that I can contend with, but I believe I can easily detain it. Issue would be transporting them.
So, well, we have a. They had a TAC team on that was on approach, so that TAC team should be there within a minute, and they'll send a chopper in to get the other one.